She is a regular Comic-Con cosplayer and a good friend of mine. It's Jaclyn Rene Cass, everybody. Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks for adding a little femininity and class to this otherwise sausage party tonight. Talking about porn flicks and your whatever, and appreciate you coming out. We met at Tape, a Comic-Con in Tucson a couple years ago, and you were wearing ears and a tail, I believe. No? What were you wearing?
It was Nightingale Comics.
Nightingale Comics. You were the representative of Nightingale Comics,
Yes.
and you were the character in that comic book.
Yes.
But since then, I've seen you in plenty of ears and tails and capes and
Plenty of
and
those,
things like
and
this.
wings.
Wings, yeah. Oh, I want to talk about the wings. But how did you get into cosplaying? When did you first hear about it, and how'd you get into it?
It was the summer of, I want to say 2013, and I was just hanging out with some friends, and they were like, oh, I guess there's going to be a little con in Flagstaff, and that's where we were going to school, so we were like, oh, we should try to do something for that. And I decided to try out Black Canary, and it was very, very amateur at best. Black corset, just little black shorts, mesh stockings.
I mean, that's her costume. What you just described,
that
what
was,
she wears. I mean,
the basics.
Sure. You don't have a siren scream, right, that we know of?
I'm not going to release it here.
Okay, good.
Come on.
Good. This is my last pair of glasses. I can't afford a new prescription. So, all right.
I'll keep my voice down. I just went and in my very amateur-esque costume and met several people who didn't really care, and it was really nice and welcoming. And
they didn't care that you thought the costume was amateurish?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I felt very welcomed into the community, and I saw people walking on the stage for what they call the masquerade, and it's actually a costume contest. And cool. I was watching them, and I was just like, I want to make a cool, epic costume like that, and that's kind of where it took off.
Wow. And so what was the first costume you made after that? The one that you were really proud of, because you're disparaging your own Black Canary. What was the one you were like, yes, this is it?
Elsa
from Frozen.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, which now doesn't even fit me because I lost like 30 pounds.
Oh, women watching YouTube, just clicked this window shut. Thanks a lot. Lost 30 pounds. Oh, what a poor click.
Well, I spent $700 making this costume in 4 months.
$700?
Yeah, $700.
Did the voice actress for Elsa make $700 for that movie? Unbelievable.
Yeah. Did not know what I was doing at all, so I was ordering fabric after fabric. Every time I would go to the store for like Joann's, I would find an even better fabric, and it was trial and error.
But when it was done, you were like, oh my God, I am Elsa. You put it on, looked in a mirror, I assume, and you were like,
oh yeah.
Let it go.
I had Alice powers and everything.
And so when you wore that when you first wore that to a Comic-Con, you had to be like strutting your stuff. You're so proud of yourself.
Oh, I was incredibly proud of myself, and there was not a moment where I was just surrounded by people taking pictures, and it was great. And then it was exhausting.
Well, Elsa's a popular character, so did you see another Elsa in the crowd where you're like, bitch, or was it like, hey, Elsa? And you know what I mean?
I ended up wearing this costume on the Friday of Konnichiwa 2014. And
that's a show, that's a manga show, a manga anime show?
An anime convention, yes.
Okay.
And I wore that on a Friday, and I decided to wear it again on a Saturday with the costume contest. But during Saturday, during the day, there was another Elsa, and I was like, oh, dang.
Oh, man.
I should have worn my costume today.
And you mentioned you get stopped at shows, of course, for pictures and stuff. I mean...
Yes.
What is that experience like? You're dressed up as a character you love as much as anybody else, everybody else at Comic-Cons and stuff, but then you're the embodiment of that character for those people in the moment they see you and want their picture. What is that like, that moment where children and old people and everybody in between are crowding you for a photo?
It can be stressful at times, but...
Oh, don't I know it?
He's always getting the paparazzi, so...
You'll
have to watch out later when you go
They
out
always
to
catch me coming out of Craig's, or not the restaurant in Hollywood, it's my buddy Craig's down the street. The people, they're crowding you. It's like...
sometimes I get a little claustrophobic. I was at Phoenix Comic-Con with my wings for the first time as Hawk Girl back in 2014, and I was never not crab walking somewhere, because I had to be aware of my wingspan. And
crab walking like sideways, trying to get through people.
Trying to get through doorways, people, and whenever I stopped, or people would ask me to stop, there would just be a line of people taking pictures, and I was just like, I had no idea where to look.
Sure.
But
Over here, Hawk Girl, over here, Hawk Girl. What's going on between you and Green Arrow, Hawk Girl? That kind of thing.
Green Arrow.
What
comic are you reading?
Let me see. What was the name of that one?
Green Lantern.
Okay, got it.
It's okay.
So when you're cosplaying, you could crab walk if you dressed up as Clawful from He-Man, from Masters of the Universe. He was a crab, an evil crab. So
I'll have to add that to my list.
so do you only make costumes of characters you like, or is there a part of you that's like, you know what, I know this is a popular character right now, I want to capitalize on this, and I'm going to make that costume?
I have done that a few times.
Yeah?
I did that with Overwatch. I was Diva, and I wasn't too familiar with the game, and I was like, hey, this suit is actually $80 on eBay. Did not make that suit. Bought it on eBay. So I was like, hey, might as well. $80, easy costume.
Sure.
That's probably the only one that I've done that has not been for me.
How many costumes do you have in your boudoir right now? Is that the word? Boudoir. Your
Wardrobe?
wardrobe.
You
That's a
actually
thing,
want
right?
me
Boudoir?
do you actually want me to count them?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Dozens or
At least 30.
30? Do you have more cosplay outfits than you have actual wardrobe to wear outside? Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go to work and I'm like, okay, sweats today. Because I got nothing else.
Well, I got some pictures of some of your costumes here, and let's. Do you? The word cosplay has such a stigma to it. It's not a derogatory term, right? You're a cosplayer.
Yes.
That's
no,
what you
it's-
are.
Yeah, cosplayer.
Okay. Because, when Comic-Con comes to town, and I'm a guy that makes his own comic book and exhibits at Comic-Cons and stuff. When Comic-Con comes to town, usually the cosplayers are front and center, and not necessarily all the best ones either. The news enjoys exploiting these costumes, and they make something of a circus atmosphere out of it. Mm-hmm. Do you find that as a cosplayer, sometimes people look at you as kind of like a joke or a weirdo, or?
Weirdo. I think weirdo. All my weird friends and my normal friends don't mesh very well.
Okay.
It's much like Thor.
You're saying the normies are like people that don't dress up? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
It's actually the term I use too sometimes.
Oh, really? Normies? Yeah. Oh, you're just a normie. You don't get it. You wouldn't get it if you saw me in this. So here's one of the costumes. What character is this?
This is Pinup Kiki.
Pinup Kiki.
From Kiki's Delivery Service.
Okay, and this is a manga or anime or?
This is a Studio Ghibli movie.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think Disney produced them too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's still in a way Disney cosplay.
So I got to assume this isn't a super expensive outfit to put together.
Actually, that was made with everything found in my closet, except for the purse, which was a birthday present. So
cool. And the accuracy of this is pretty spot on. I guess I should have done a little more research and actually had a picture of the character, maybe, other than just stalking your Facebook for a couple hours today. Printing these out at the UPS store with the clerk looking at me like, do you know that person? Or pressing a button under the desk. I don't know why they would. But yeah, that's Kiki. Okay,
yes.
Here we go. Let's do another one. Who is this character right
my
here?
pop star Ari from League of Legends.
League of Legends.
Yes.
So these are two characters that even as a geek I'm not familiar with.
League of Legends?
Yeah.
Gosh, you're a normie.
Wow! You hear that, Mom? I'm a normie!
So League of Legends is an online video game that you can go online and play with other people anywhere around the country. And
I've heard of that.
Yeah, you get to choose different champions. And Ari is a nine-tailed fox. This Ari in particular is Popstar Ari, and she is just the skin. And,
right.
Yeah.
You have 9 tails back here then?
Those are 9, yes. There are 9 of those.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And how difficult was this costume to put together? This doesn't look like a common fabric.
Actually, I didn't make the fabric part of these costume. This costume was partially made by me, and then the other part was made by Rene Cosplay. And I had her commission the outfit because I wanted to focus on the tails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you made the tails?
Yes.
So what is that? I mean, that's not just 9 feather dusters back there. What do we have back there?
Wire stuffed with a little bit of pillow stuffing and a little string to go around my waist.
Sure.
Yeah.
But what is the pink fluff there? What is
It's
that?
just pink fur from Joann's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's available over the counter. Okay. So, I mean,
I got very fortunate with that.
But I mean, there is a real craftsmanship to this, is what I'm getting at. Like, this isn't something like you said with the other costume. You just put it together from items in your closet. When it comes to these elaborate details, you're spending hours of time.
Yeah, and money and tears and sweat and Not nearly as much as this guy, but.
Any blood? Is there any blood?
I've seen the cosplayers go at Comic-Con. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just never. We look at it on its surface, and we're like, oh, it's very beautiful, and it's very ornate. But you don't think about the time, the hours, the dozens, if not hundreds of hours that go into that.
Yeah, it was painful.
Well, here's my favorite one. This is you as Hawkgirl with some other cosplayers. You guys take a gander at that there. You had, and these wings no longer exist, is that right?
They do exist still.
Oh.
They are mounted on my wall until I set them on fire for a Phoenix photo shoot.
Wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, these are like 6 foot in wingspan.
They're at least as far as my hands go, because I remember holding my hands up like this to try to keep people from bumping into.
Sure. Holy cow. And yeah, this is the suit that you said you'd have to like crab walk in to get around in a Comic-Con.
Yeah, and crab walking in heels, not fun.
And you, I think I asked you about this once, you hand glued all of these feathers on here, is that right?
They are all hand glued, yes. And actually the amazing idea and just the masterpiece of it came from the Crooked Feather, and you can find her on Etsy. Her name is actually Alexis, and she's so awesome, and she works with you like crazy. She will do the best that she can to help you bring this creation to life.
Wow, to accommodate all of your feather needs.
Yes.
Wow, I was gonna say, how long did it take you to feather all of those pigeons in your backyard? Just like, I'm getting there, I'm getting there.
Well, she was able to help me out with the duck feathers, the goose feathers, and the turkey feathers. So
Those
are
so
all
all
different.
three.
They're actually all different feathers, and the turkey and the goose feathers were already gray, and the duck feathers actually had to be individually dyed.
Dyed?
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
unbelievable. And all
amazing.
humanely acquired, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll say that.
Sure. And you're here with, of course, everybody knows Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this is Bubbles.
From Powerpuff Girls.
And I don't know, this...
This is Elfie Aubrey. She's a cosplayer as well, and she's Scarecrow.
Oh, that's the Scarecrow from
Yeah.
Batman. Okay.
It's funny because the Casey Jones and the Bubbles are actually family members. So for
Of
this
yours?
con, yeah.
Oh, cool.
For this con, I was actually able to adopt my family members into cosplay.
Aw, so it's a family affair, really.
Yeah, so we're going next year again.
That's
all together.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you meet a lot of amazing people doing this, people that are engaging in the craft themselves.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Wow. Is there a long-term goal for something like this? Can this be spun into an income of some kind? Or
I mean, I used to get some income when I was working with Nightingale Comics, where they actually paid me to cosplay for Nightingale, the elf princess that was in the comic books.
I mean, I see cosplayers at Comic-Con, they have their own booths, they're signing photos and stuff like that.
Right now, it's more of a hobby. I don't have any prints to sell or anything, so I don't have any income coming in from it unless I were to sell something.
Sure.
And I don't have anything like that as
But
of
I
yet.
mean,
so.
if you ever wanted to either downsize your repertoire, these costumes could easily be resold. So there is that potential there too, because you have the craftsmanship. That's a talent other people might want to utilize at some point.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Well, if people wanted to see more pictures like that, they could find your Instagram at
Lava Shadow Cosplay.
okay, and on Facebook you're just
The same thing.
Lava
Shadow Cosplay.
Lava Shadow Cosplay, one word. And what's your next show? Where are you going to be next?
Next weekend is Arizona EventureCon, so I'll be there for a day. We've got Ren Fair.
The Renaissance Fair?
Yes.
What do you wear for the Renaissance Fair? Just Renaissance
I was
garb?
gonna
or-
pull together my assassin.
An assassin?
Assassin's Creed.
A,
yeah.
a Renaissance assassin.
Sure.
Okay, I think that's called a reformist, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Is that right? Historically, it's false, and fake news. That was fake news. So the Ren Fair, and then...
There's also WonderCon, and the big one that I'm going to this year is actually Calgary Expo in Canada.
wow, that's bigger than WonderCon?
No, that's my big one this year.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
out of the country for it. So
Wow!
Yeah.
You had to get like a passport for that.
I already had a passport.
Oh,
I actually
okay.
just found it today because I was looking through my stuff and I'm like, I need this, or
Oh,
I can't buy
wow.
my ticket, so now I'm officially going.
So you're going to leave the country, but you were born here, right?
Yes.
You will be able to
Yes.
get back in, okay.
Yes,
How do you
that's
get
the
the
plan.
wings through security? It was a TSA going through the bed, like, I see a power ring, I see Thor's hammer, I see wings.
I mean, if I'm gonna wear the wings, I should just fly there, like on my own.
I see, that's why people think you're a weirdo. when you say stuff like that. You can't say stuff like that.
Says
you
the
can't
normie.
say stuff like
Says
that.
the normie.
I know there are cosplayers watching this now like, she's just going to fly there, man. But no, I really appreciate the craft of this as somebody that creates comic book characters. My comic book character was cosplayed. Somebody made a costume.
I remember you showed me at Phoenix Comic Con and you said you were crying.
I wept a little bit, yeah. When somebody recreates something that you've created, it's an honor. And that's what you're doing really with these characters that, big kids like me and kids all over the world, they love these characters, and to see them brought to life by creative and passionate fans like you, it's hard to describe. Like, you're making it real, even more so than the movies or the TV shows do, because get your picture with you and shake your hand and say thanks a lot. So.
Right, it's a lot more common. You don't have to wait in line at Disneyland for 3 hours to take a picture.
Right, to see Elsa. There she is at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Again, that was Lava Shadow Cosplay on Instagram and Facebook. It's Jaclyn Rene, everybody.